What is going on? I'm Zedmont. Happy Valentine's Day, happy Hallmark Day, however you want to put it. Regardless, jump in the shop. There is some free extra build or double love sitting there, so do make sure you grab that. While you're there, scroll over, make sure you've got a creator boost. I recommend code Zedmont. It is the most likely to get you some love and action on Valentine's Day. Now we are going to jump into the warships because I got some neat stuff to show yous. And since it is Valentine's Day, I'm going to show you a double feature. We're going to talk about two things. First of all, the easiest possible way to get into Diamond is using this troop composition. You basically can't not get to Diamond if you have Kavan with his second wind bringing back all sorts of rifle lover dudes. Okay, I'm gonna drop the Valentine's Day shtick now. With the laser rangers, also bringing back all sorts of laser rangers, and then the heavy choppas out front. You basically can't lose if you have a decent base. It will get you into 22 depending on your base. At the very least though, it'll get you into Diamond, and that is where you want, because diamonds are, I can't do it. Diamonds forever, you know, more Valentine's Day that I just said I was not gonna do. So my log looks far better of late. I went and I got some critters. I also went and got some extra machine guns to stuff the base full of all goodness. So you can see I've got a chest coming there in about 24 minutes. Don't really care about the chest at the moment because I'm just playing. We're just playing. I'm a far away from parking, and that's going to be the topic of my next aspect. So we're just going to go 3 wide with those dudes, and then we're going to bring in Kavan with all of the ladies, and now I've got exactly what I was after here. We've got some critters that we can keep dropping to distract all of that stuff up the middle, just slowly but dropping critters. Now you see these critters they're in a very safe spot. With laser rangers, you don't really have to worry about critters too much because your laser rangers are going to wreck them. But if you're using bombardiers, do remember that those right there, all of those critter launchers are going to prey on your critters, and it's just going to cause you more problems than not. Now, I have been generally getting rid of shield gens, but with this troop combo, you don't even really have to do that. So I have just been trying my darndest to clear as many mines as I can, using critters for many things. And I can't believe that Doom Cannon is still up. That kind of blows my mind, kind of shows that I'm zooming in far from where I need to be. We don't have many laser rangers left of the original sort. We don't even have many of the pink sort, so this is not going smoothly. I told you this attack strategy was super easy, and then I made it look super hard. Not ideal under the circumstances. So we're going to drop a shock right about there because it should allow us to get all of our troops on all of the things, and then we're going to drop some critters in there again, hoping that we can get those shock launchers distracted a little bit. Remembering, of course, this is actually going to be my worst time in a significant amount of time. So awful. This is either the best base I've ever faced, or suddenly I just bring you guys along and then I start doing terrible attacks. I don't know which one it is. I'm going to blame the base because I don't want to blame you guys, especially on Valentine's. I keep bringing it up. I personally am not a Valentine's Day person. I try my darndest to do romance on all occasions. Of course, life gets in the way at times, and the fact that I have 27 kids doesn't help. But hopefully you guys spoil someone every day of the year, or at least more than one day a year. What do they got for time? That was awful on my part. Thankfully, it looks like they're going to be equally awful. Now, here's what we're going to do while we're waiting for that. I'm going to show you this. When I said I'm a long way from parking, this is the reason right here. I constantly see people talking about how they're going to park and they're sitting at rank 18.8 or something like that, or like if you're sitting at 21, for example, or 22 like I am, 22-17, you can see over on this left-hand side that there is no advantage for me parking right now. I can keep playing and park if I hit 23. That'll give me a better rank chest next season, or keep playing until I just suck and hit 21.5. Either way, parking at 22.31 makes zero sense whatsoever. Hopefully this makes sense to you. You want to get to at least 12.6 or 19.6 or legendary 2.30. That way next season you're going to start in gold or iron or stone. If you're sitting there at 11, push to 12.6. It will help you next season. I hope that makes sense. Wanted to give a shout out now to Opie Destroy and Shishka Bobber and Icebreaker and all the rest who have done this math season after season after season. I am always too lazy, and every season I have to ask the Orions and the Stonehearts and the Commander J Dooms and all of the rest just to find that. So there is a pinned post on every chat that I am in simply because I can't remember that. So park or don't park. It all comes down to where you are in that there list. Speaking of that there list, I am still trying. And also, by the way, there are two aspects to parking. A, there's next season rank, and there's B, this season rank. So you definitely don't want to just go off of where you're going to be next season. You also need to put a little bit of thought into where you're going to be this season, because there are all sorts of fantastic rewards, and you want to capitalize on all of them, of course. So critters to distract the mortars, critters to distract the doom cannon. I am just going to keep shocking that doom cannon because, as you saw last attack, I just kept bungling it. So we're going to send all of our troops trying to get rid of that doom cannon with the critters out front, and then let's throw a barrage just because we've got almost no troops left on top of that. And then again, more critters. I know I am overusing critters, but I've talked about this in the past. When it comes to new things, new shiny things, I way overuse them. And then I figure out the appropriate usage. So right about now, I am still at that new shiny critter smell. So that is why I am completely and utterly overusing critters. But really, overusing critters is not a bad thing unless, of course, you're triggering critter launchers in the process. So we've got that right-hand side engine room going down. We're going to get all of this stuff going down in the next little bit. That scroll was me deciding not to throw a shock quite yet, and then throwing my shock and missing all the things that I wanted to shock. So we are going to hit those boom mines and those shock mines, but the fact is, I think we've got enough heavies out front to distract the shock launchers. We've also got enough troops in and amongst the things, and we're going to be a little bit faster, but we are going to lose. Of course, we're going to lose. Let's throw some critters. We got nowhere to throw critters. I am just going to start barraging as soon as you know what? I should have used my barrage a long time ago. Bad attack, partially because I wasted a whole bunch of gunboat energy by holding on to it, and partially because they got a decent time. Like, that's going to be probably, yeah, that's a decent time. So realistically, 220 is more for what you're looking for. You can see there, I am slow. I am very slow, and then I'm back to where I should be. Like, this is where you should be as far as times go, but I can't always be fast. But thankfully, we got ourselves a bit of a cushion. So I am personally pushing towards hitting rank 23. That's going to get me into, I think that's rank 13, if memory serves. But really, just don't park unless you have a reason to park. So obviously, rank 21 is a good place to park because you get those 500 diamonds and the powder. But if you can get to 21.5, it's a little tiny bit better for next season. Same thing, it really, 22, 20, like where I'm sitting right now, there's no point parking. I'm going to either play to 21.5 or play to 23, or the end of the season will come and I didn't make either of them. But do keep an eye on those numbers, because parking at the right time can make all the difference for this season and for next season. And I didn't include the obvious things where it's pretty obvious if you're in Diamond or not. So if you're at 21.10 and you're like, if I lose, I'm going to fall out of Diamond, maybe that's time to park too. But two aspects, obviously. It all comes down to twos today. Coming back to the Valentine's Day pair, maybe you're more of a three kind of person, though. To each their own, I suppose. We're going to do one more battle, because I think I won one and lost one. Should probably try to break the rubber match if we can get a match. Speaking of getting a match, I am at 20.64 on my 4 engine room base. Getting like one match a day. There is basically like 3 players out there, and one of us is going to make Diamond. Just need to keep hitting the match button, waiting 4 seconds, and then clicking cancel, because I really don't want to match someone who is outside my engine room level, because I will lose. Everyone's at 5 or 6 at that rank, so this base is very different than every other I've faced. And by the way, as soon as I decided not to get Seekers yesterday, I instantly regretted it, because I've been having a whole bunch of fun using Seekers on my other account, which I realize is a little bit ridiculous and silly as we throw the critters trying to distract all of the mortars. And now I'm going to get rid of this Sky Shield simply because it is so clearly separate from the other one. I am not super keen on Sky Shields when they're 2 on top of one another. I end up hitting the wrong Sky Shield or splitting my artillery or just doing silly wrong things. But when they're that clearly separated, I figure, you know what, let's do it. Let's get in on top of those puppies. And now this is the shock that I probably want back here. Really probably don't need to worry about that shock all that much, but we're going to do it anyways, simply because we have all of the gunboat energy, critters to distract some things, and second winding all of the things. So many second winds this attack that it's just going to be full on ridiculous mode, and that shock right there is going to be clutch, because that should get us on top of all of the things, should be able to clear all of this stuff fairly quickly, because no shock launcher, no critter launcher, we've basically neutered this base. As all our troops come in, looks like we're going to get a far better time. I probably should have hit that shock launcher with an artillery or a barrage, but 223, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. Hopefully that shows you guys a couple different strats that are going to help you get to Diamond or get to 23 or to wherever the heck you want to park. Overall, pretty darn happy with that. Notice that I don't have artillery. I had to make the conscious decision to go artillery or critters, and the way that I've been playing, I feel like critters was the right call. Not ideal for taking out Sky Shields. As you saw there, I had to use 3 barrages, but as far as clearing mines and distracting defenses and things like that, critters have been far better. So 3 things there, actually more than 3. We got the troop strategy, we got the parking spots, we got your rank spots, we got critters over artillery, we've got how to get rid of Sky Shields and all the rest. So hopefully this helped you. I am sitting somewhere. Mackett, I'm pretty sure Mackett has parked, pretty sure he got super frustrated with this season. Mackett, do let me know. Commander J Doom, crushing it. Code Chicken, back in 24, well done. I am in rank 29 in Canada. That holding on to those 200 plus keys over the weekend just absolutely shot me downwards. I don't even know if I'm in the top 500, which again, that is another aspect of when you're going to park, is if you're aiming for that top 500 trophy, maybe, just maybe, you keep playing. Personally, that is the lowest concern for me. I really never cared about the top 500, as all of you have seen season after season as I park. For me, the biggest aspect is that season ending powder and diamonds. That is what I'm after right about there. Anyways, that is going to be it for me. Hopefully this found you well If you need a Valentine, I'm there for you. Anyways, that is it for me. Don't forget to do all those YouTubey things, liking, sharing, subscribing. Most importantly, hit me up with a comment. Let me know how you're doing today in warships or in life. I'll talk to you soon. Keep that submarine diving. Keep booming those beaches. I'm Zedmont. Peace.